What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Loverfella, and today I'm going to show you guys some really cool and new tips for ARK Survival Evolved. So the first tip I want to show you is the best way you can deal with the Gigasaur. So like a lot of people complain about this monster and they say that it's way too overpowered and it can basically destroy bases that take months and months of work in a few minutes. Which I agree with, it's pretty annoying, but there is a way to deal with it, and I really don't see many people utilize the large bear traps. So I've taken the liberty of walking this Gigasaur into one of the large bear traps about 3 minutes ago. And this dinosaur is going to get stuck in these traps for 13 minutes. So if you have a spot that seems very prone to these around your base, you can do this and then literally just punch them in the ankles. And since they're trapped, they're not going to be able to turn around and hit you. As long as you're staying away from their head, they're probably not going to kill you. Just got to be safe about it. You're going to get all kinds of meat from it, all kinds of like raw prime meat, whatever, and it's super easy. Like I could kill this with my hands if I had enough time, because 13 minutes is a long wait. So the main lesson here is to just utilize the large bear trap. No one really uses this, no one expects it, and they hide very well in the water. If I place this in the water, once it flattens out, I mean, it's not the easiest thing to see when you're walking by, especially when you're on top of one of those. The deeper you put it, harder it's going to be to see. And you could make traps, like literally you could design a trap designated around trapping one of these and killing it. Like maybe it steps on one of these and then two turrets start shooting at it, turrets that maybe you couldn't see beforehand. Up next we have a nice little trick for the beaver. So did you guys know the beaver will automatically harvest any trees that it's near? So if you pick it up on a quetzel or an argent and you fly near trees, it'll actually start chomping at trees. So if I fly through here, let's go find a nice big tree like that one. All you have to do is angle yourself just a little bit and it'll start taking that tree down. See that tree fall? That's because the beaver just ate it. So there are some restrictions to this. The beaver has a very tiny hitbox, so it's kind of hard to aim, but you can just kind of wiggle up there, drive by real slow, and if you find a forest like this, you're bound to get a whole bunch of wood just by aimlessly flying around. Like just swing it through trees and it's going to nibble through things. So you should remember, 1, you do not have to have your beaver on wander. 2, the beaver will only collect until its inventory is half full, and 3, the quetzel's weight does count. So like when it's holding the beaver, that counts for the quetzel's total weight. So if you want some mass wood farming, increase your quetzel's weight, walk around with a beaver. Let's see how much we got. 436 wood from that. And I don't think this is a very increased server. I can pick up a rock real quick. So I got 1 stone, so this is like normal rates. And that is how quick you got wood. So if you like need a lot of wood or you've never heard of this method, this is the new way to get wood. You can also build ramps off the side of your quetzel platform, like all the way around. Make little cages for your beavers, kind of drive your beaver in and trap it, and just make like a whole shell full of beavers. Then when you drive through, it's just going to mow through all the trees. It's really cool. Up next, a little trick with the dire bear, just something that's not mentioned in the Wikipedia, is that the dire bear actually warms you up when you're near it. And if you have a whole bunch of dire bears or you're living out in the Arctic somewhere, you can just place dire bears around your base and like strategically around corners and stuff, so you're always kind of getting their warmth. It'll stop you from losing your hunger and thirst so much. Now this one's specifically for PvP. If someone traps you inside a cage, a lot of people know this, but you can press Z on the keyboard once your food icon in the bottom right turns like a white color, and you can poop. And then eat your poop, you'll kill yourself, you'll get out, then you come back here with your beaver and your quetzel and you take them down. Now this next one is a tip for fishing. So this might be patched, I'm not sure, I'm unable to test it right now. But with fishing, if you find a mega piranha and it doesn't have that multiplier, that 0.09 times or 0.10 or whatever, 0.150, whatever it is, if it doesn't have a multiplier, then that means it will break your fishing line no matter what you do. So if you're fishing and you see a mega piranha or a group of mega piranhas that have that no multiplier next to their name, then you don't want to fish for them because they're going to break your line. It's like a glitch. Last I checked, it was still there, but if it's not there anymore, which they'll hopefully fix it soon, don't worry about it. But now that fishing's new, it's something to keep in mind. If you have a problem where people are constantly taking your narcotics and your meat out of your tames, you can either tame in somewhere close to your base where you can protect it, or if you don't want to waste 15 hours of your life taming, you can do this. So please be aware this won't work while I show you, because I have a mod on that gives me like a huge stack ability, but on normal servers it will work. So what you do is you add maybe 5 rocks and then a piece of meat, then you add 5 more rocks, don't stack it. Maybe I think the limit's like 20 or something. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to add a stack of rocks, stack of rocks, stack of rocks, stack of rocks, then maybe a meat. And then keep going with rocks and then some meat, rocks, meat, and make it a really long, so you have to scroll through it all these rocks, all these meat in here. This way people can't come and just go, boop, took all your meat. They're going to either have to go through this whole entire list and scroll and click all that meat to take, which is not worth it, or they're going to click take all from inventory and they're going to take your 500 rocks with them. Then they're going to be stuck standing there. They're going to have to drop or unload all the rocks back inside your dinosaur. So you can use this to your advantage if you're taming near your base. Like say that's my base right there. Maybe it's a little more blended in. We build it back in the woods or something, and we're taming a quetzel. Well, if we make like a little tower and stand there with a rifle, we can wait until someone clicks take all so they can get all your meat and narcotics. They're going to weigh themselves down with the rocks, and then you're going to have an easy headshot because they're going to be sitting here unable to move while they're trying to drop all the rocks. So that's just a nice little tip. Now this is a tip for those of you who have powerful computers and like to max out your graphics. You can go into your options and then go to ground clutter and move it all the way to the bottom and click apply. If you're trying to collect rocks, this is going to make it a lot easier because then all the rocks you can't pick up disappear. So now we can pick up rock, pick up rock, pick up rock, pick up rock, and you don't have to worry about those false alarm rocks you see every now and then, or those seashells in the ground that really look like rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and show you it looks like this, and then when I turn it back on, all kinds of stuff appears. Seashell, rocks you can't pick up, stuff like that. So if you're trying to get rocks, you're just starting out in the world, turn ground clutter all the way off. Up next we have a tip if you're like a frequent flyer. Maybe you take Quetzal Airlines pretty often and you're a frequent raider. Well, sometimes you might get a little bit too close to the base you're trying to raid, and you have to do like an awkward, like wait till you stop, turn around maneuver. Maybe you get a little too close, take a few turret hits, that's not good. So this is a tip a lot of you already know, but not everyone knows. And if you press X on the keyboard, your fly will, your mount, whatever you're flying on, will instantly stop flying. So if you're like dive bombing this base and you're like, oh crap, shouldn't go in there, just press X, nice and calm, take a nice swoop around, and you're free to go. No death needed. Alright guys, I hope you like these random tips and tricks that I just kind of threw into one big video. They weren't really good enough to give their own video to, but they were still pretty important, and I know a lot of my friends weren't aware of these, especially the Giga trick. I don't know why people don't use large bear traps, but you guys should start using them. So I'll be releasing another video here in a few days, or maybe a week or so, with some more tricks like this that don't really have enough sustenance to be their own video. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and don't forget to check out my other videos. I make a great Let's Play series right now where I only live on a raft in the middle of the water, no land base allowed, and I'm inviting you guys to play with me. The plan is to have a giant army, a giant village of boats in the water, and it's crazy. So check that out. Links in the description, and thank you guys for watching so much. I love you all. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Loverfella, and today we're playing a brand new alpha game called Niche. And this game looks beautiful. It's like some kind of open world or survival type. I don't know.